Dear Peter and Paula, the entire Lunder Foundation and family, we are so happy to be celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the Lunder Dineen Health Education Alliance of Maine. Turning your vision into a reputable, recognized program across the state of Maine has been a rewarding experience for our co-chairs, for our team, and for our 3 statewide advisory teams. The health professionals that we educate are on the front lines, taking care of our citizens of Maine every day. Now, more than ever, we know how important it is to support our healthcare workforce. Thank you for allowing us to conduct this important work. Here's a glimpse of the widespread gratitude.
Hi, Peter and Paula. Talking to you from Keys Isle, Maine. Just want to thank you on this 10th anniversary of your transformative gift to the Mass General. It's hard to imagine the hospital without the Lunder building and how it would have handled the epidemic. Major contribution. Likewise, up in Maine, you've made some transformative gifts. For the first time, we're paying attention to some of the neglected needs of Mainers, like old people and old chiefs like us. It really was an ignored area, the whole area of addiction, and obviously continue to educate nurses for the future is very important. So none of this would have happened without your inspiration, leadership, and gifts. I also want to thank Marjorie for her expanded role in this whole process. She's probably going to be a very important person in the future. I'd like to give a kudos to Jack and Kevin and Maureen back in Portland, who have always been ready to answer any questions and help whenever necessary. So thanks, but again, from a personal point of view, Dolly and I want to thank you for your friendship and great times we've had together. You clearly have expanded our horizons in terms of art. Our weekend with you in Maine at Colby College was fantastic. Ever since then, we've had a keen eye for art and think of you. I do wish that you are still involved with the Red Sox, but they could use your common sense approach. But overall, again, thank you very much for what you've done.
Happy 10-year anniversary to Lunder Dineen. I recall my very first meeting with you, Peter and Paula, sitting on your deck looking at the beautiful Atlantic Ocean, thinking about the vision for the Lunder building in the Maine Educational Alliance. Over the past 10 years, so much has been accomplished. Our work in Maine is helping all clinicians to provide better care to patients and families. The Maine Education Alliance is alive and well. Thank you so much.
The Motivate program has been implemented in 8 nursing homes spanning 7 counties. The program provided 60 in-person consultation sessions, 22 volunteer faculty-led workshops, and educated 700 healthcare staff. 5 bedside dental demonstrations with 900 residents served and 1,700 oral health kits supplied.
Hello, Peter and Paul. I just want to thank you for being with us on this journey over the last 10 years. Personally, it's more than I could imagine, but it is what I had hoped for. Your ability to help us help seniors have made such a difference in Maine. And when I have gone from northern Maine to southern Maine, I've talked to many seniors at their bedside, people that were sick, people that couldn't chew, people that couldn't smile. And many of them have asked me to give you a personal thank you from them. And versus having me say thank you, I'd like you to hear it from their word. And so from northern Maine, and I'll just briefly read this, Bernie from Caribou wanted me to share her thanks for you caring and believing in the worth of the aged. And she prays that our message will someday reach into the medical community. Walter in Machias grabbed my hands following one of our Motivate sessions and just simply stated, "Honestly, I do not feel forgotten. Please thank your supporters." Sally in Eastport, which is so east and rural, she's 84 years old, also gave me a hug to say, "We're in rural Maine and often you feel like nobody remembers who you are, and you thank the Lunders for us." And I think very importantly, another woman in Northern Maine who was a staff member, her name is Millie, thanked Motivate for providing healthcare workers with education and means of preventing disease. Because up until when Motivate came into their facilities, they were asked questions. And this was the first time they could actually say, yes, we can help you. So I want to thank you on their part and on my part. And being in Maine, we know that Maine is our good neighbors, and you are a good neighbor. Thank you very much.
So thank you for your commitment to continuing education. Like many organizations, the CEDAS does not have a big budget for education and practice support. And the fact that Motivate was provided to us at no cost and that the Lunder Dineen guided us every step of the way was truly remarkable. The Lunder Dineen team is definitely the gold standard.
Nurses from 87 organizations have participated in the preceptor program over the 5 years, totaling over 800 graduates from all care settings and counties in Maine.
I'm incredibly thankful to the Lunder family and the Foundation for recognizing the special needs for educational opportunities in Maine. It has been both personally and professionally rewarding for me to serve on the advisory team for the Maine Nursing Preceptor Education Program over these past few years. As a clinical educator, I've been very fortunate to be surrounded by such a wealth of knowledge and experience. I have learned so much from my colleagues on this team, and I have been able to share that knowledge with clinical educators all over our great state. I would like to thank the Lunder family and the Foundation for their generosity in making all of this possible. Thank you.
Time to Ask has been implemented in 8 primary care practices in 5 counties across Maine. The program provided 8 faculty-led workshops, 8 legacy meetings, and 40 in-person consultation sessions. The 200 learners who have completed the program care for over 24,000 patients.
The opiate epidemic has orphaned identification and treatment of alcohol dependence. I think it's really one of the reasons why this project, the Lunder Time to Ask project, is so very important. So, it's our responsibility as physicians to be able to identify it and know that we can help our patients. In 1983, I had gone into practice as a family physician in Pittsburgh, and most of my patients were steel workers, and I was looking at their medical problems. They had elevated liver functions, they had uncontrolled blood pressure, and I was really puzzled. I thought it must have been industrial poisoning, and somebody loaned me a book about alcoholism and doctors, and I woke up, I said, oh my God, half my patients are alcoholic. Back then, there wasn't really any education for physicians. And I think as many of us, I was concerned that if I brought up the issue with my patients, they would be angry. And it turns out almost never did I encounter somebody's anger when I expressed with compassion my concern about their drinking. Now, what happened with my work with patients is I tried to get them to understand they had a problem. About 6 months into it, I started to get God bless you letters. Now, that's very powerful. Diabetics never send you God bless you letters. Be aware this is very important, and I'm really grateful for this opportunity to participate in the Lunder Project.
It's been a privilege to have been invited into the Time to Ask partnership with you. Lunder Dineen's team leadership and compassion made it comfortable to discuss our challenges with an honest presentation. The entire experience has been rewarding, impactful, and in alignment with Katahdin Valley Health Center's mission to create healthy communities. We would like to thank the donors who made this experience possible.
So how do we get here? We traveled more than 100,000 miles, meeting with more than 150 stakeholders. We delivered over 20 regional and national podium presentations and enlisted the help of over 100 volunteers. We reached more than 1,700 learners from across all 16 counties in Maine with these 3 signature programs.
Thank you.
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 Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Peter, Paula, and the entire Lunder family and foundation, thank you for your partnership, and a special thank you to our advisory board for your volunteer leadership over the past 10 years. Here's to the next 5 years of Lunder Dineen.